Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Happy Friday.
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what?
And with the arrival of the weekend, I just want to show you a couple of chains actually that popped up on my radar that you might have never heard of. I was scrolling in the Filama as I usually do, and I was scrolling in the chain sections, and way past after the first 30 chains, I started looking and I saw a couple of very interesting networks that had a bunch of protocols in them, not even in the top 30 chains. So I started looking at those to see if there was actually something interesting going on over there and if I could make any videos about it. So I filtered between a couple and I found two chains which have some really good yield farming opportunities. At least now this might change. If you're watching this video in, let's say, 6 months, 7 months, this video might be very outdated, not have any meaning anymore. But since they are so low in TVL, they have rewards, they have boosted rewards for people who are keeping their money over there. So we're going to be taking a look at a couple of protocols that I found that have very interesting APYs and APRs. Some of them I'm just going to skim through it because they have a lot of things going on for them. Eventually I'll make a video more specific, especially on one chain, which I even tweeted. If you want to know which chain I'm talking about, you can watch it to the end of the video, or you can go on my Twitter where I usually give some spoilers or I post more content than on YouTube itself. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. We're gonna start from the overview on the Filama. We can see that we are not having a good time in crypto. In the beginning of May, our total TVL of crypto was over $200 billion, over 200 billion. So there was a ton of money. And then, you know, the whole Terra Luna happened, the whole crypto market meltdown happened, and that wasn't really good, and it just hurt us a lot. So if we actually zoom in right here, since we hit 144 billion, we haven't had a higher low in a long time. We seem to be only falling because, for example, May 13th, 143, then we went back up again to 148, but now we're all the way at $133 billion. Still, $1 billion is a ton of money, but look at how much we've gone down from this top right here. So this made me look at these chains to see that everything is red right now, everything. So if you scroll down, you can see just both 1 day change and 1 month change. It is really hard to find other than Tron, for example. Tron is slowly and very quietly growing up in TVL by a lot, by a ton. They already surpassed Avalanche and they're going for Binance Smart Chain. You can see that it's very hard to find another one that is in the green. The majority is in the red. And this is when I started scrolling under the top 30 chains, which I usually never do because there's not much to look into. For example, we have Cardano, which has basically nothing. Cardano has been here for, I'm gonna get some maxis infuriated right now, but Cardano's basically useless. They've been working on it, working on deploying the protocol, the contract, the chain for a long time, and we haven't seen any major updates whatsoever. But then I saw Astar and I saw down here this Milkomeda. Now I might be botching these names by a long shot, but we're going to be looking at these two chains. So if we go to Astar, we can see that it dropped by a lot as well. And again, it started everything on around May 8th, so during the Luna apocalypse. And also we have Milkomeda, which hasn't been doing good since probably since it launched, because it launched at around March, and right now it has both blockchains. They do offer some good protocols. They do have some good protocols and good yield farms. So we're going to be looking at those. Again, not financial advice. This should be taken as some sort of incentive for you to go and look at other chains to maybe you can find hidden gems just like these. I think some of these are very hidden gems, are something that not a bunch of people know of, and if eventually they get hyped up, more people know about them, then these protocols, these chains might thrive and might grow. We are going to start with Astar. So Astar currently has $132 million. So this is million, it's not $1 billion like we see these top 5, top 6 TVLs have. So the first one that we're going to see is Kagel Finance, which is top 1 protocol here on Astar, and it is a borrow and lending protocol, but it also has a leverage farm that I think is very cool. Of course, leverage farms are very risky, so if you don't know how they work, if you don't know what you're doing, you just see big number and you think, hey, I'm gonna make a ton of cash, then don't go. Please don't invest your money if you don't know where does money come from, because if you don't know where the money comes from or where the money goes to, you are the one providing the money to other people who are aware of what's happening. So if you scroll down, you can see this is a basic deposit and borrow, so lending and borrowing market. The yields are okay for depositing and borrowing, but what I actually wanted to show you is this Makai right here. I hope I'm not saying that so wrong, but if we go to this Makai right here, we can see that we have a ton of APRs. So these are single vault assets, so no impermanent loss, at least not from what we can see, from what I saw from my very fast research, because I found out about them last night. And for example, we have a 44% APR on DAI. This is on a stable coin. We can also see that there's a 36 on Tether and there's a 21% on USDC, and on wrapped Bitcoin, 100% unwrapped Bitcoin. These are very variable, because yesterday when I looked at it, this was 68%, 60 something. It was above 65% yesterday. So you can see how they vary because of liquidity and amount of users here in this pool. So the bigger the amount of liquidity providers, the lower the rewards. So for example, let's click on this DAI right here, and you can see is actually looping your DAI itself. It is leveraging your position by 5x. So they're going to be looping or leveraging your position by 5 times. Of course, the rewards that you get are going to be paid in the Starlay token itself. And since I don't have any DAI right here, I can see exactly what is going to be my APR, but it's going to be around that 44% right here. If you want to understand more how this leveraging works, you can click right here on the docs, and you will go to the to their docs where they have a ton of information about them. But this is not where we're going to be taking a look today. We're just going to skim through these protocols right here. And as I said, if you are interested, you do your own research on it, or maybe you just wait for another video where we get more in detail with this. So this is going to be the first one that I have to show you, which is Starlay. Of course, all these links are going to be down here in the description of the video, not in the comments, in the description. There's a ton of people who usually come saying, hey, where's the link? It is in the description of the video. For the next one, we have Artswap. On Artswap, if you can see, is going to leverage that even more. So leveraging has some issues, which is you can be liquidated. So you might be thinking you're earning money, but you get liquidated because of volatility of the token. And that volatility can even apply to stablecoins itself, because the stablecoin is not fixed at $1. You can see it can fluctuate to 98, 99, $1.01. So these can hurt your health factor when you're leveraging. But let's take a look at these farms right here that are leveraged. So we have that USDT USDC 15x multiplier. And look at this, 214. Of course, you're going to get paid the Artswap token. As I said in my previous videos, the worst thing about yield farming is that you get paid in the governance token, and the governance token might be melting, which is usually what they tend to do. They tend to go on a downtrend instead of a uptrend. But anyways, if you're compounding, let's say twice per week, once per week, or even monthly, it might be okay for you to slowly swap these tokens for stable coins or for any other tokens that you believe in, that you want to hold for the long term. So 214 APR for USDT and USDC. Now we can see there's a lot of liquidity right here. There's actually $11 million in liquidity. We also have a Binance USD and USDC for 155%, and this is APR. You can compound that daily, weekly, monthly, and you get way more out of it. So this is a stablecoin farm. Of course, these are not gonna be like this forever. Maybe tomorrow, if you come back right here, there's gonna be half of this APR, maybe a third of this APR. So this is when, if you have watched my videos about stablecoin farming, I usually have a small portion of my money that I move around to the best farms. In my case, I'm gonna try to put some money right here to see how long this 214 stays for, because even if this token right here is performing very, very bad, I can just take that daily and swap it to more stable coins, and then let's say once per week, twice per week, get these stable coins and reinvest in the liquidity pool. So I might do another video about that with my own money, but I'll try first, see how it looks, and I might do another video if it is something worth doing. You have OUSD and USDC, which are OUSD is another algorithmic stablecoin. Then we have BAI, which is Aster's own stablecoin. They claim to be a little bit like DAI, but I still don't understand if they're over collateralized or they're pegged to the actual dollar. They are backed by the actual dollar. They say they are backed to the actual dollar on their website, but it is kind of hard to understand, and I still haven't done a very deep research about it. So, but we also have this BAI right here, so you can see how huge and ridiculous these APRs are. You can check this out again, link in the description. Now let's jump to the next one, which is gonna be Kagel Finance, Kagel, whatever you wanna call it. And this is basically, if you are a Naruto fan, you're gonna see the Sharingan right here. Basically has Naruto vibes right here, like the Uchiha clan. They only have these stablecoin farms, and they have huge rewards for them. The standard pools that they have are the 3 pool, which are DAI, USDC, and USDT, and they have the Starlight 3 pool, which are wrapped versions of these tokens, if my understanding is correct. And then this right here becomes the 3KGL. So when you see 3KGL, is basically these 3 tokens right here plus another token. So for example, we have BUSD and these 3, so it is a 4 stablecoin pool. It is paying you a combined 1.71 plus in between 4.5 and 11.3. So you have to combine these 2 right here. But if we take, for example, this BAI, which I told you about, it is the stablecoin that they have right here on this chain, plus these 3 right here, you have up to 93% APR. Of course, this is without counting the 3.76 right here. And if you are even bolder, from what I checked, this OUSD, it still hasn't depegged that much from the $1 price. It went to around 93 or 1.5 that I saw. It still hasn't depegged in a very huge way like USD did, and they're actually paying you 349 up to 874% APR. Ridiculous. Unfortunately, I cannot see right here in this website what is the TVL for this. So this is very risky. I'm just showing you because it is ridiculous what these numbers are. But before you invest, you should also look for the TVL because the liquidity might be very low. For example, you might take this one that is paying you 874%, but it might have like $1,000 in liquidity. So not really good, not really worth for you to put your money right there, especially when you want to take the money out later on. And this concludes the Astra portion of the video. Now we're going to go to the second network, the second blockchain, which is actually this one called Milkomeda. And this has a couple of exchanges right here, but we're going to be looking only at the first 2. So the first one that we're going to be looking at is called Blueshift. And if we come right here on farming, of course, if you check out the website itself on swap and portfolios, you can see that they actually have indexes. So look at this, you're farming on certain index. So it is a liquidity pool with multiple tokens in them. So I thought this was a very, very smart thing. For example, we see right here that we have a DeFi index and it has 6 different tokens. Then we have the top metaverse index and also has 6 tokens. We have the ecosystem index that has a ton of network tokens. So I see right here BNB, I see Cardano, I think this is, I see Ethereum, I see AVAX, and we have 4 more. And of course, these are also leveraged. So be very careful on what you're doing. But what I wanted to show you is actually this right here, 3 port. And we have Tether, we have USDC, and we have Frax. 3 stablecoins. And look at this. We are multiplying by 15 and we have an APR of 109. Now, the liquidity that we have right here, the TVL, is very low, at least for my likings, because we have only $143,000. You might think, well, that is a lot, but for a liquidity pool, that is not very much, to be honest. We also have a stablecoin index that has almost 6 times that. It has $672,000, but it pays only 23%. So for example, I really think the ecosystem index is really good, but it only has $86,000. So my money wouldn't go right here at all. But for example, we have the Blueshift index itself, which is these tokens, these protocol tokens right here, and it has 8.72 million. So this is the one that has biggest TVL right here. But overall, this 3 port right here, it seems like a really good deal if the liquidity doesn't drop below this 100k. Also, if you want to get that 23, this right here seems to have a good amount of money in it as well. And then we go for the last one, which is going to be Ocamx. And this right here only have these wrapped versions of these tokens. So we have MAD, USDC, and MADA. I don't know where you get these tokens right here. If you get them right here on the website itself, on this website, if you have to go provide liquidity somewhere else. But we have right here huge APYs, ridiculous APYs, also on stablecoins. So for example, we have the CE being the seller version. So you go on seller and you provide liquidity right there, and look, 269%. Of course, you get paid in the governance token. So I don't know how that is performing, if it is performing bad or good. Of course, if it is that high of a number, I don't think that governance token has an uptrend, especially in these markets where every governance token is doing very, very badly. But as I said before, the more you're compounding, so the quicker you're compounding, if you're compounding daily, if you're compounding weekly, the less you're going to be holding these governance tokens for. So the less loss you have on these tokens. With UST and USDC, 269%. Now this is APY, not APR, but still, we right here have over $2 million in TVL. We have both the seller version and the multi version for the multi-chain protocol. And the TVL is half of that, but the APY is also very high in my opinion. Now we have this that I thought it was ridiculous, and the TVL is very low, which is USDC and DAI, both for seller. Look at this, 2,745% for stablecoins. Now, if we take a look right here, we see that the 24 hours fees have only been $3, and the trading volume in the last 24 hours has been not even $1,000. So you can see why this liquidity is very low, because there's not enough people trading this pair right here. There's probably a very low amount of investors investing this quantity right here. Maybe it's like one guy investing 114,000, maybe it's like 3-4 guys. This is why we have such a high APY right here. And you can see it has a huge list right here of different pairs. So take a look at this project, take a look at this website. You might find, after a deep research, something that has a good trading volume in the 24 hours, and something that might fit your investment strategy. And you might be golden, because you might be farming the same thing that you're farming somewhere else, and the TVL, okay, it won't be higher, for example. It won't be as high as, for example, on Avalanche or on Binance Smart Chain, but you will farm right here another token that, if it is another governance token, they are both going to be melting anyways. But right here, you will have a higher APY, so you might profit from that. Let's say, for example, I'm farming on Trader Joe's and I'm getting paid in X Joe or R Joe or whatever Joe we have right now. And the same farm, for example, we have AVAX USDC right here. Over there, they're paying 100%, and over here, we're getting 250%, let's say. And here, I'm going to get this governance token. Over there, I'm going to get paid whatever Joe. But let's say they're both falling, that Joe that you're getting paid with, and this token right here at the same rate. This right here is still a better deal, because if you compound, you will have higher APY, so you're gonna get more of these tokens, more of these governance tokens, and then you can just swap them back to the LP token itself, or swap it to stable coins and then send it back, take profits, whatever you want to do with it. So this is going to conclude our Friday adventure of looking at these protocols. And if you enjoyed these protocols, if you think this is something very interesting that I should start doing more, looking at these hidden gems, finding these hidden gems, these hidden networks that majority of the people don't even know about. I heard about Astar weeks ago. If you enjoy this kind of content, if you want me to keep looking for other probably hidden networks, hidden gems that we could take profit from, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss these next videos right here on this channel. And also comment what you want to know. Comment if you know any other chains like this that a bunch of people don't know about. They are, let's say, under top 50, they're under top 60, 100 blockchains that you think might have a future, and we are going to take a look at it. I always reply to comments. I always read every comment that you post, so leave a comment down below and we can find hidden gems together. So thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.